Hey everybody, I'm Jennifer Angel. This is my report for April. Lots happening this month. It's really an action-packed month, but you really want to get things done in the first couple of weeks because later on, as I'll cover a bit later in the um, report, Mercury will go retrograde. Yes, that time again, if you've been watching me for a while, you know it's not my most favorite transit, but it is very useful too at the same time. Now, this report is on my blog on jenniferangel.com and also as a podcast, so you can watch, listen, or read, or do all three, okay? All right, let's get started. So as we move into April and into the second quarter of the year, I don't know how that happened, but we're there. Anyway, there's just no time to waste, okay? There's an abundance of planetary energy sitting in both in the signs of Aries and Taurus. I mean, there is some energy, of course, in other signs. Let's see, Aquarius, Pisces, Gemini, and Cancer, but it's mostly concentrated in Aries and Taurus. So this makes it a perfect time to get your goals set. Now, if you didn't set goals in the first quarter, this is a great time to do that. So you want to set specific goals for the next quarter, and I would do goals for the remainder of the year. And the thing about goals is that you set your intention, and you also put out not just to the universe but to yourself what it is that you want to achieve. So it gives you a benchmark to work towards, and it gives you something that you can push yourself to. So goals are really important. In fact, when I go through my coaching programs, if you're interested in coaching, this is one of the things that I help you do, to set goals in every area of your life. Then we break it down into action points and finer points, and then we visualize it, and so it's a whole fabulous process. It's very, very effective. So, so either way, whether you have them or whether you want to do them, you want to get that organized, and you want to I have my goals in a vision book, 100-page vision book, which John Assaraf, who is my coach, showed me how to do and gave me his format to do that. Yeah, and I read them every single day because it keeps you in tune with it. And it Excuse me, I'm just still getting over my bronchitis, so apologies for coughing. Probably going to do that a few times. So it keeps you sort of connected, and more importantly, keeps you connected on now and the future rather than staying in the past. Because when you're always looking at what's happened in the past and you're focused on there, then that's where you stay. It keeps you stuck there. So this is one of the things that goals do, and why it's so important to set your goals. Now, do they have to be formal? Absolutely not. I'm a Capricorn, so of course, mine are formal, in this 100-page vision book. But you know what? You can just get a journal and write it down in a journal. And then you can do something that we call forward casting and vision. And if you do like a quarterly goal, you can then read it every day and read it as if you have, in an affirmative way, as if you have achieved it. Okay, so that's a very, very powerful exercise to do. So, and it's, you want to set goals that stretch you too, but not too much, because if it's too much and you give yourself too much to do, like all the Virgos and the Capricorns do, then you can start getting overwhelmed, or you sort of work, 18 hours a day trying to do it, and nothing else happens in your life. So, and worst case scenario, you quit. So you don't want to do that. So you want to set them just say it stretches you and you've got something to push to, but not too much. All right. So in the first week of April, on the 3rd, communication planet Mercury will travel from Aries into Taurus as well, okay? So communication in Taurus is focused more on relationships and money. However, it's especially important to focus a communication on yourself, your inner wisdom, your inner message, okay? Because the more that you can understand and know yourself, how you feel, what it is that you want, the less that you expect these answers and things to come from other people, from outside of you. Again, apologies for that. So this position of the chart is very much about worthiness. So you want to sort of focus on how worthy you feel of attracting what you want. Do you believe that you can, you can do it? Do you believe that you're enough, that you are good enough? Okay, so, as you go through your goals, if you've got like resistance that comes up and, a little voice says, "Don't be ridiculous. How are you ever going to do that?" And notice that, because, as Mary Morrissey says, somebody else that I've followed over the years and love her and done some of her work, she always says, like, noticing is the first step. And I really believe that. She's so correct, because unless you can notice what you're doing or feeling or thinking, then how can you change it? So as soon as you notice it, then you can go, okay, I'm going to focus on just changing that thought around. It's great to have an accountability manager as well, or, partner. I mean, that's what a coach does. I mean, I do that for people in my coaching program. And, if you're interested in coaching, then please reach out to me, book a complimentary. You can, from my site, you can book a complimentary session, and we can just discuss whether coaching is good for you. But, if that's not in your budget right now, then try to get yourself an accountability partner. That's what I have. And we check in with each other every day and meet once a week. It just keeps us in tune and on focused and on the path of what we want to achieve. So that's a really, really powerful way. And, for instance, my accountability partner picked something up that I was saying that I didn't realize I was saying. I was subconsciously saying, "Oh, I gotta do that." He said, "Do you realize you do that?" I said, "No, I didn't even know I was doing that." So now every time I do that, because it's a habit, okay? And habits are addictive. So, you have to focus on it and then start to change that, okay? And pivot it and change it to a more, I want to do this, I love to do this, this is what I desire, and, all the rest of it, whatever feels good for you, okay? All right, now during the second week on the 10th, Venus, which is the goddess of love and money, she will make her way from Taurus from which is one of the signs she rules, to Gemini. Okay, so if you apply yourself to the highest level of importance in your life at that time, and that changes over time too, might be love, though, and then it can change to money, or then it can change to family or self-development. So whatever your highest level of importance is right now while this is happening, if you just focus more on that, then you can gain some amazing insight, because let's not forget that Gemini is a thinking planet. So it's communication, and that area where Gemini sits in the chart, it's all about communication, creativity, and education. Okay. So, the more that you can just get into that energy, you can really sort of gather a lot of knowledge that's invaluable, which can help you push forward. All right. Now, on the love scene, I know you're all waiting to hear about love. Like, who doesn't want love? Okay. Excuse me. So, with Venus in Gemini, because Gemini loves to chat, um, You know, if you need to have a heart-to-heart discussion with someone and it's well overdue, then this is a great time to do it for a couple of reasons. One, because Venus is in Gemini, and the other one is because later in the month, which we'll get to, Mercury will be going retrograde. So I'm not saying that you can't bring up a sensitive discussion, but it's sometimes during a Mercury retrograde, it can get a little more intense, okay? So, but you want to always be mindful of being diplomatic, okay? And that's going to keep things more harmonious between you and another. I always think it's a good thing to ask questions too. Rather than tell someone, if you ask them questions and you gather more information, I guess that's from my sales training, you gather more information from them, okay? All right, so during the first couple of weeks, there's going to be a number of what's called sextile aspects. Sextiles are like opportunities, so it indicates that doors can open for you now. So you want to stay alert for opportunities and possibilities. So because they don't always stay around, you know, it can sort of come knocking on the door. If you don't open the door, then guess what? It's going to go to the next door. All right. So you must be in a position to be able to grasp them, all right? Put your hand up and say, yes, this is something that I feel is good for me, all right? So these aspects are mainly between water sign Pisces and earth sign Taurus. Now, the water sign can be emotional, while the earth sign is more logical. So the earth sign helps to keep the balance of the emotions while creating a sense of intuitive as well as logical thought. So these two, if you get, you know, combined and, you know, can get the intuition and the logical thought together, then, you know, wow, that's great, you know. Now, on the 11th of April, we have one of the luckiest, if not the luckiest, and most powerful planetary interactions for the entire year, which is a conjunction. You know, two planets are in the sun. It's with the sun, so it's a luminary, and Jupiter. So the conjunction is like in the same degree or very close degree, usually in the same sign, okay? And this year, so this Sun Jupiter is like textbook. It's like the most amazing, luckiest, transformational, beneficial connection in the entire year. Personally, I like the Venus Jupiter one, but you know, they're both good. So this year, the Sun and Jupiter connection is in the sign of Aries, okay? So, and I love this as the Sun being our most powerful force and Jupiter being visionary, um, and having like a positive energy, then it promotes making long range plans because let's not forget Jupiter is very visionary. If you've got any Sages in the room listening, then you know Jupiter is Sag ruler and it's also Pisces original ruler. So you've got that visionary, that whole imagination, intuitiveness, and spirituality coming from inner wisdom here. Excuse me. So that sort of, you know, so the Jupiter's energy, then bringing the energy back to the here and now, that helps with the sun. It helps to put it into action. And of course, it's in Aries, which is an action sign. It's a cardinal sign. And Aries just wants to get on with it and get it done. Okay, so this is a really, really great connection in Aries. I think I like it. Now, the new moon this month, which is on the 19th, also in Aries, and it's also a solar eclipse. So it's got, you know, it's like a new moon on steroids. I heard an astrologer say that once and I loved it. I just can't remember her name, so sorry I can't give her a credit, but yeah. Okay, so this is going to be amazing, potent energy as Aries is the first sign of the zodiac and represents the spring equinox, which is on March the 20th when the sun entered Aries. So this new moon solar eclipse is going to help us just recharge, get going, make things happen in our lives. Okay, so but it's up to each one of us to take the responsibility and to step forward. And step forward can often mean stepping out of our comfort zone, and that's when real change happens. Okay. And the very next day, and because this is in Aries also on a critical degree, which is like 29 degrees or 0 degrees, further intensifies it. So you want to use this energy as much as possible, just to put things into action, particularly as we are coming up to that Mercury retrograde. Okay, and the very next day from this is on the 20th, the sun is going to make its way from Aries into Taurus. So happy birthday, Taurus. Happy birthday, Aries and Taurus for this month. Right, now the month is going to conclude with another set of planetary sextiles. Remember, that's the astral interaction of opportunities. So once again, this really is a month to get going, to get organized, and to stay alert to the possibilities, that cross your path and just appear in your life, okay? The synchronicity or coincidences, you want to watch that too. However, as I said, it's up to you to notice them, step forward and claim them as yours. Say, hey, yeah, this is good for me. And then Mercury, okay, we're at the Mercury, the planet of communication, creativity, also education and teaching, sharing knowledge. It's situated in Taurus and will be stationary retrograde on the 21st. So this is all happening bang, bang, bang. So, lots of sort of changes, lots of vibratory energy there, and shifting energy as well. So as it moves into its retrograde transit, which will be always for about 3 weeks, makes the time for this remainder of April and going through to the first couple of weeks of May. All right. And as Mercury is retrograde, also between 2 eclipses, because the next one is a lunar eclipse on May the 5th. Okay. So it goes into retrograde in between the solar and the lunar. Makes this just like an amazing, excellent time just to get organized, get prepared, and focus on setting strong foundations that you can move forward with. And Saturn is all about setting the strong foundations. And Saturn in Pisces, even though we're opposite energy, just the Pisces likes to flow, the Saturn likes to get things locked down. So the two of them just sort of helps to sort of soften it. So I have done a Saturn in Pisces report, also individual reports, which will go on social media. So if you want to check that out. So this month's energy is just going to be amazing for all of us. It's going to help us be just methodically, and that's the Taurus energy, methodically move through and move forward, to push forward, to just accomplish our dreams. Once again, important to set your goals so you know what your dreams are, okay? And it's going to just provide us all with a feeling of accomplishment. So I love that, and it's a good idea to set encouragement rewards. I have that for myself, it doesn't have to be big ones. Some of my encouragement rewards, I just have a mani-pedi because, I do my own mani-pedis. So it's a treat for me to sort of go out and have that done. So, when you reach a goal, you go, okay, great. Now I'll go and get my mani-pedi or whatever it is. You might get a new book, or, you don't have to book a trip to fly to Paris, but that would be nice too. Okay, it can be it's just small things. So you take a day off and go and have lunch with a girlfriend. Okay, I hope you enjoy this report. As I said, you can read this on my blog and watch it on my podcast. And if you'd like to book a session with me, either a coaching session or just a one-self astrology session. I incorporate my astrology into my coaching, but you can see all that on my site under the menu. All right, much love, vision, and success to you, and I hope to see you soon. Have a great month. Bye for now.